3, 2, 1. Have a good race.
All right, here we go. So this is race number 3 of the CRCA Club Series. Number 3 in the series, second race of the year because the first race was canceled due to weather. And this is the C field, so Cat 5 and 4. And yeah, look at that sunrise. That's beautiful. And yeah, speaking of the sunrise, this race is a little bit shorter than usual. We only got to race 3.5 laps this time. I think it's supposed to be 5.5 laps, but because of daylight savings, I guess we started later. And yeah, because we have to be out of the park by a certain time, we had to shorten our race. So yeah, coming into this race, feeling pretty good. The last race was pretty good. The field was pretty well behaved, I would say. So for this race, I'm thinking, don't want to let a breakaway rider get away, which I don't think anyone will try. Well, I think people will try to break away, but I don't think anyone would be successful. But yeah, I just, in the back of my mind, want to be near the front and marking attacks. But otherwise, just want to conserve my energy for the bunch sprint. We can see here my buddy Max, number 530. He's got the leader's jersey on. So he won the last race. So he's currently leading the series. I'm number 7 in the series. I scored a single point in the last race. And yeah, hoping to score a couple more points this race. So yeah, here I realized that we're neutralized.
Yeah, I was like, why are we getting the lead out from the bike?
The moto's going slowly, so like the last race, we're going to be neutralized until we go down the hill for the first time. Yeah, I didn't notice it that much during the race, but this sunrise is really nice. So for these races, I usually bike to the race. So I live in Brooklyn. For this race, I left my house about 10 minutes later than what I wanted. So that was not ideal. I was pushing tempo, some of the segments, a bit of a longer warm-up than I wanted. Leading up to this race, did a couple nice training sessions during the week, felt pretty strong. I did a leg day, I guess a week before the race. Felt really good after. Did a double interval session on Monday and felt really strong there. And then had a couple more double days just to increase the volume, I guess. And then last night, rode around with Max. He tried to do a KOM attempt around the reservoir. So it's a pretty fun one. It's on gravel. I gave him a little lead out for half the segment. Ultimately, he didn't get it. I think the path was still pretty crowded when we did our attempt, so next time we'll have to try later. But yeah, he mentioned he almost ran over a dog, so it's probably not ideal for trying a KOM attempt. Yeah, and a couple of teams represented here. So Onyx is represented here. Saw a couple guys from Pedal Power, and then also Collado Sportswear here in the neon sleeve again. So I think here 513 went ham up the hill, and I'm like, hey, get on him.
Hey, get on him!
Now, I don't know why, but everyone always goes ham up Harlem Hill, and for that fact, all the hills. I guess like constant wattage isn't a thing. Maybe they're just excited to be not neutralized after the downhill. But we start to chase a little bit. I guess burn a match a little bit here. But yeah, we're already bringing him back, so not too much of a threat here. I think 513 did the same thing the last race. It's honestly pretty nice racing in a series like this because you get to know the riders that you're riding with, and you get to kind of understand their mannerisms and their patterns. So 513, I guess, always sends it up Harlem Hill on the first lap to get the blood flowing for everyone else, I guess. Yeah, we brought him back. So yeah, not a real earnest breakaway attempt. Just something to get the blood flowing, I guess. Just a little bit of a counterattack. And yeah, you'll notice here the pavement is fresh. There's no paint lines on it. This past week they started tearing up the asphalt in Central Park and repaving it. I actually, going into this race, I thought there was going to be some gravel-like racing conditions with the torn up asphalt, but they managed to pave it over just in time for the weekend. Yeah, so we get extra smooth asphalt for certain stretches. A little bit bummed. I was kind of curious to see how the gravel or rough asphalt element might have played into a race like this. Certainly would have kept things interesting. A bunch of road racers getting some gravel-like segments, but yeah, probably for the best. Racing in a bunch, you never know how someone's gonna react on a rough patch like that. I had joined a group ride during the week, and actually, even on the group ride, we almost crashed out on one of those gravel sections. So there, my buddy Ven dropped his chain. And he ultimately DNF'd because of that. Pretty unfortunate. I was actually up later than I wanted to, cleaning my drivetrain. So I hit it with the ultrasonic cleaner, the AliExpress ultrasonic cleaner, greased it and everything. Felt really good. The week before this race, one of my pedals started leaking grease too, so I didn't realize how much difference replacing that pedal would be. I thought it was just bad bearing and a little bit of grease, but it actually turned out to be a pretty big difference. So I'm glad I had that sorted out. But yeah, it sucks for my buddy Ven. Dropped chain, and yeah, your bike race is over. I guess 514 up there, steps on it a little bit. But yeah, knew from the last race that no one's really gonna get away. I think we're all pretty evenly matched. Another section of fresh pavement here. This is colloquially known as Horseshit Hill. I guess a lot of the horse-drawn carriages start their routes here. So this section always has horse shit. I mean, you can even see there's fresh horse shit on the freshly paved pavement already. Before this was paved, it was actually a pretty fun little gravel segment here. Yeah, maybe next race, New York City Department of Transportation won't do quite as good of a job at paving, and maybe we'll be left with some gravel patches, but not for this race. So this guy from Pedal Power starts drilling it. I'm glad, because I was kind of pulling the field with me. So glad to have the rotation in.
Yeah, what the fuck is our moto doing?
No, there's
So yeah, we're neutralized. We're about to pass the women's field. So yeah, we weren't sure if they were gonna let us pass. So there's a bit of confusion in the field.
let me neutralize the whole race. The hell?
But yeah, I think all is good. They let us pass. Maybe next race they'll let the men's C field start in front of the women's A field, or the women's open field. So the gloves are off. I'm a little warm. I think this temperature is right about what's on the cusp for needing gloves. So was a little warm with them, a little bit chilly without them, but yeah, I could still feel my fingers at the end of the race. I think it was all right. So I guess here in front of me is 500 Carlos. He's one of the organizers of this race, so thanks for doing that work, Carlos. unfortunately, Carlos got a flat, so he DNF'd. Last race, I think he got dropped, so a bit of bad luck. Here, number 534 in front of me, I think he was involved in a crash a little bit later on. I was pretty far up the field, so I didn't get footage. I'm sure there's going to be footage floating around on YouTube afterwards of the crash. Claudio starts drilling it, going into the hill. Guess we do the thing and hop on. Yeah, I think really what separates like a Cat 5, Cat 4 race from a group ride is just it's a little bit surgy, a little bit more surgy than like a regular group ride, but otherwise it's not too much different from like an aggressive group ride. But yeah, I think this field is really well matched. Like no one is that much more fit than everyone else, which I guess is a good and bad thing. Because what ends up happening is everything just comes down to a bunch sprint. And the teams don't seem that good at executing a cohesive strategy, you know, like a break. Even like chasing back solo riders, it's a lot of times it's another solo rider that's leading the chase. So yeah, get on the drops, getting ready to go, getting ready for other people to go ham up Harlem Hill. So yeah, the key is really just to honestly, the key of Harlem Hill is just to find a wheel to sit on, because that wheel is worth about 10 to 15 pounds in body weight. So if you can sit on someone's wheel, you'll be in good shape. And honestly, the fitness of everyone is really good too. Because if you go on, you know, Sauce for Strava and look at, you know, people's activities afterwards, like, you know how Sauce for Strava tells you, you know, if your effort is Cat 5, Cat 4, Cat 3, whatever. And a lot of these races, I end up with, you know, the Cat 3 little banner. And I'm sure a lot of other people in this field have the same. So, yeah, not sure if this level of fitness is like an outlier for the New York City area, or, you know, maybe Sauce for Strava is soft with thinking. Not really sure how they're doing it. But yeah, I guess the caliber of bike racing, even in the, you know, in the C field with Cat 4-5 racers, it's pretty high, which I was pretty surprised by this year with racing. So I think we've got another breakaway rider, or, you know, another solo rider at least up front. So yeah, we do the usual drill. Bunch of other solo riders try to chase him down. I see these guys fading a little bit, so I'm like, all right, I'll go up front, help pull for a little bit. Yeah, so Max taking a nice pull here. So we've brought this guy back, pretty straightforward. Carlos is absolutely cooking up there. He's just drilling it.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, so here we're trying to figure out how many more laps we have left in the race.
Well, we have one more Harlem Hill.
Two more.
One more. Pretty sure.
Oh, 3.5.
Yeah.
On 1 second full.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Two more Harlem Hill.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
One more, two more.
No, because this is lap 2 when we finish.
Yeah.
Next one will be lap 3 and then the half.
And then half.
Yeah.
So don't go yet.
Yeah. Someone's gonna go because they can't fucking count, man.
Okay.
What?
Start for the finish now. No. We have one more full lap.
Yeah, I mean, I made a joke in my last video about how Cat 5s and Cat 4s can't count, and that's a skill that we unlock as we cat up. It's playing out pretty nicely here. So I hopped on 524's wheel. and actually turned out to be a pretty good wheel to be on. This guy's just nice and steady. Looks like he's pretty comfortable, sitting comfortable. Yeah, just happy to take a pull, so I'm happy to sit on the wheel. Now we're going up Cat's Hill. 524 is still drilling it up front, looking really comfortable. I mean, guy looks the same doing probably 400, 500 watts as he does doing probably 200, 300 watts. Really impressive. Alright, tell him nice pull, and I guess I take my turn up at the front. I guess if it's there's anywhere to take a turn, it's on this tailwind flat section. So some others take the front. After the race, this guy on the left here, 502, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I didn't want to be up on the front. I wanted to save energy. He was like, yeah, but I ended up getting dropped because I took some turns on the front. A little snake action up front. Pretty funny interaction up front. I don't know if you can see it in the video too well, but pretty funny interaction between the moto and a delivery driver, on the e-bike. So these e-bikes usually zoom by like 25, 30 miles an hour. I actually thought about following him up the hill for like a lead out. I don't know if that's allowed since he's not part of our race, but yeah, I mean he's going pretty quickly up the hill. So I could definitely take advantage of the draft. No, but he ends up pulling off, so I don't think it would have been worth the effort. There we go, the little counterattack by Dave Jordan, 524. So I know he's a good wheel to sit on, so more than happy to sit on the wheel again. And I guess I should mention, so the start stop for this race is different than the last two races. So this time we're finishing on the east side of the park, so that's the side of the park that we're on right now. So it's kind of in the middle of this rolling terrain, we call it the Three Sisters. So it's a bit of a uphill sprint to the finish, and it's half a lap beyond what where the race starts at Cat Hill. So it's pretty nice that the CRCA series, they change up the end, so not every race is the exact same. When I rode here, I think 2 or 3 nights ago, this section of pavement, it was all broken up. It was all loose. There's loose gravel and also, the milled asphalt. I was actually a little excited to, sprint to finish on that kind of surface. But yeah, probably for the best that it's not. This new asphalt feels great. Bell lap. Yeah, I guess they have the bell for guys who can't count laps. So yeah, we've all managed to stay together for the most part. And yeah, now my priorities are, save energy and not let any solo riders get off the front. Same as at the start of the race, I guess. So this guy CO starts cooking. Does a few zigzags. 2 Cat 4 guys up here. I think I have one more race until I'm eligible to upgrade. Yeah, both of them peel off here, so take a little pull. Once again, pulling up Horseshit Hill. Pretty happy to be out front here, actually. I think one of the last laps, I was sitting on someone's wheel, and there's a lot of loose gravel here, So his tire was just picking up all the loose gravel and like flinging it in my face. I didn't have goggles on for this race, or glasses on for this race, so that was I had to look away and just hope for the best for a little bit. I think this is the last that we see of Carlos. I'm not sure where he flatted, but it's probably close to here. Crash behind us. Don't have a rear-facing camera. Not really sure what happened at this point in the race, but I was talking to people afterwards, and they said someone swerved to the right and then overcorrected and ended up swerving left and taking someone out. I guess good thing it was in the back of the field. Here, I guess someone sent an attack up Cat's Hill, because this is a lot of power for me to be going backwards on Cat's Hill. I think people are trying to figure out what happened or how the crash happened. I'm just happy to be back with the group. Not sure what happened in the pack there. I think Max did something weird. But we are in mega energy saving mode, because we know we're all gonna stay together until this bunch sprint finish. So now I'm working on my positioning, so try to make my way up. Ideally, I want to be one of the first few wheels to go down this hill that's coming up. That way I can pick my line. I think one of the last laps I was a little bit further back and then ended up getting swarmed. Yeah, was not very fond of that. I think everyone's got the same kind of idea. See people trying to make up some positions. And yeah, I don't want to be in the front going up Harlem Hill, so I'm pretty happy with my positioning here. I think it's generally easier to go too hard too soon than too hard too late. I guess the one exception being that one Prospect Park race. So I'm not too keen on attacking, but I want to be in a position where I can attack and changes in pace. So here, I guess the pace picks up a little bit. So I'm in a good position to respond. 5 tons got that crazy up and down motion. Oh my goodness. So yeah, hop on 513's wheel. I think he's the one that sends it on the first lap, so thought it was a good wheel to follow. So a couple more rollers and then the finish. So pretty happy with my positioning. Could have maybe kept a little bit more energy in reserve, but it is what it is. I guess some others are looking at position as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a kind of crazy bunch sprint. Yeah, we're what, 4 or 5 wide here. I'm out of the draft, so I pick up a little effort. Yeah, here we go. So this is the fresh asphalt. and after the crest of this hill is the finish line. So 510 almost swerves into me, dodged a bullet there, and I just, yeah, I launch, and then, but it's not enough. This dude Max, he's got quite the sprint. I yell 'cause I'm frustrated, and I also let off too early, so I let Sia win. Well, get second, and I get third, but yeah, still managed to snag a podium, so pretty happy with that. Next CRCA race isn't until May, so quite a while. I might join some other races in the meantime. I think Coney Island Crit is one that comes to mind. I might see how I feel that day or that week. Yeah, this guy got me on the bike throw. Was confirmed afterwards. But yeah, pretty happy with the outcome. First podium. Hopefully more to come.